Hey everyone, this is Miss Gonzalez and welcome back to my channel, Disfruta Leer con Miss Gonzalez. As we have mentioned last week, this is our first week with reading, now our second week with reading a chapter book. And we are reading the book called Magic Treehouse, Tigers at Twilight. So if this book is something that interests you, know that Mary Pope Osborne has a series of Magic Treehouse where you can actually read more and more. So this week we are actually going to be finishing the book. Today we are going to be reading chapter 7. So let's go ahead and turn to chapter 7. Now I want us to go back to chapter 6 for those of you who took maybe the weekend to rest a little bit. But we ended chapter 6 with Annie was in crying, and she had said that she saw something very terrible. So now we are at the point of figuring out what is that. Chapter 7, Trapped. Jack threw his things into his pack and followed Annie to the forest edge. Teddy stayed close to them, whining. Ka and Ko bounced around, chattering nervously. As Jack got closer, he saw a tiger. The tiger was lying on his side, completely still. His eyes were closed. His front paw was caught in a trap. Is he dead? Said Jack. No, he's still breathing, Annie said. A tear ran down her cheek. He's worn out from struggling. He must have gotten caught last night. That's the sad sound we heard. What can we do? Said Jack. We have to free him, said Annie. She started toward the tiger. Wait, wait, Jack grabbed her. Tigers eat people, you know. He took a deep breath. Let's see what the book says first. Hurry, said Annie. Jack opened their India book. He found a chapter called Tiger Traps. He read, Poachers catch Indian tigers with steel traps. This is against the law. After trapping a tiger, they kill it and sell the body parts for money. Like the rhino, the tiger is a very endangered species. If the killing does not end, they both face extinction. Extinction means that someday there may be no Indian tigers or rhinos left on Earth. Wow, that makes me think about how many other animals are in the same situation where they're almost extinct. Let's continue. Oh, man, we do have to save him, said Jack. Under the writing was a picture of a still trap used to catch tigers. Jack studied it. It looked horrible and deadly. Okay, he said. He showed the picture to Annie. Here's the plan. I'll push down on this part. The trap will spring open. Then you pull his leg out. Got it? Got it, said Annie. Sit, Teddy. The little dog sat. The Lungors watched silently as Jack and Annie moved closer to the tiger. He was the most majestic creature Jack had ever seen. His huge head was a dark orange. He had perfect black and white stripes around his wide face. The leg in the ugly steel trap was bleeding. Slowly, silently, Jack pushed down the lever. He raised the bar off the tiger's leg. The tiger kept sleeping. Slowly, silently, Annie freed the tiger's leg. She stroked his fur gently. Get well, she whispered. The tiger didn't move. Slowly, silently, Jack and Annie stood up. They turned around. They started tiptoeing back towards the Lungers. Coo, 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 warned Ka and Ko. Now remember, as we're reading, feel free to follow along with your finger, with your eyes, or just by listening. Now, we have to use our imagination. Remember, we have to make sure that we're visualizing everything that is going on. So right now, I'm imagining that Jack and Annie have already helped him help the tiger get released from this trap. Jack and Annie turned back. The tiger was on his feet. He stared right at them. His eyes seemed to glow. Jack looked about wildly. How could they escape? The tiger snarled at Jack and Annie. Then, slowly, silently, he started toward them. Now, I want us to think this is the end of chapter 7. I want us to think about now. It says that the tiger was walking towards them. What do you think the tiger is going to do? Now, remember, they've just helped free him from this trap. So, what do you think the tiger will do to Jack and Annie? Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining Max and Mitzi and myself. And I hope that you will join us for chapter 8.